I do want to note that the New York Times is reporting that the White House is ordering ICE to cease most vehicle stops after this latest killing. So your reaction to that news, I would imagine that it is welcome news.
Absolutely, as well they should. They should stop their activities. People are so angry that we have a significant ICE presence in our state. We have had it for months. And this very idea that an individual could leave his home at 7 o'clock to go to work and not very far away from his house, he's shot. He'll never see his 3-year-old daughter again.
So let's just talk about what happened over the last 24 hours, a little more than 24 hours, Monday morning. Mr. Guerrero was on his way to work, as we had noted in the introduction there. He was shot at by ICE agents, and apparently with his 3-year-old daughter still wearing her pajamas, and his partner who had witnessed the shooting. Were they in the car with him, or were they outside? Because I understand that he was very near their home.
Yeah, as I understand, he had just pulled out of the driveway. I don't think that they were in the car. I think he was going to work, and I think shortly after this shooting they came out. His wife was clearly there, 3-year-old daughter in the bluey pajamas with her pink backpack, witnessed the whole thing, as did many of the neighbors, others who saw exactly what happened. We've gotten so little information from ICE, even though everyone in the state and congressional delegation has been requesting us. And as you mentioned earlier, they've given very little argument for exactly what they did. He was driving away by their account, and they said they did this for public safety reasons. But as we know, there are a lot of constraints on normal law enforcement about shooting someone in the car. These 4 shots were fired through the windshield, and clearly this person died very quickly.
And that's been confirmed, that the shots were fired, I would imagine, head-on through the windshield?
You can see it in the pictures, and I visited the crime scene myself.
Yeah. So I want to play sound from another witness. You said there were numerous witnesses there at the time, and this is what he says he saw at that moment.
ICE agent got out, tried to open the door and had a difficult time, but eventually opened it and pulled the guy out. His face was bloody, his head was bloody. And I clearly heard the victim say, "I tried to stop." Clearly heard him say that.
So you have a witness saying that he heard Mr. Guerrero say that he tried to stop. There are reports, as you noted, you saw firsthand 4 bullet shots through the windshield of that car. We know that most police departments train their officers not to do exactly that. Many departments outright prohibit it as well. Is there any version here of what transpired from DHS's comments and statements that you think would allow for that type of response?
Absolutely not, and I think that's why ICE has been so unforthcoming. It took him 12 hours to release the statement that you've seen. We've gotten very little further information today. And we have asked to make sure that our state attorney general and all local law enforcement are included in the evidence, the witness statements, and everything else, because we want to make sure this is a thorough investigation. I'm sure some of the reasons behind this and this botched shooting are exactly why they've decided to no longer allow for traffic stops. You know, it's hard for them to break into homes because they have to have a warrant. This was something they were able to do without a warrant, but they should not be allowed to do this. In this case, where it's very likely the wrong person, and there's no justification for this, for a man losing his life.
Well, DHS Secretary Mark Mullen told Senator King that initially Mr. Guerrero was the target of the warrant, then called him back hours later and said he was not the person that they were looking for. So now you have a 26-year-old father who was on his way to work, killed, eyewitnessed by his 3-year-old daughter and his partner. What would you like to see happen now?
Well, some of the things that we've been calling for, there's absolutely too much funding for ICE. We've tried to put more constraints on them. Even though Congress required body cameras, these officers were not wearing body cameras, so we don't necessarily have firsthand footage of it. We also have been, talking about more strict procedures there. The other big question for us is, why are you in our state? We're one of the lowest crime rates states in the nation. There is not a lot of criminal activity in the small community of Biddeford, Maine. There's a long tradition of immigrants there. So many people come through my office all the time. I represent the city of Portland. We have a lot of people who work on immigration. They are fearful to go out of their homes to go to work because of the targeting by ICE officers. Some of them are actively searching for their own family members who have been detained, taken to places all over this country. I myself was just down in Dilley a couple of months ago to retrieve a 19-year-old girl who had been detained down there. It's a completely out of control agency. We also understand that they operate under some kind of quota, and that's why they're constantly pushing on these detentions and pickups with very little information behind it.